Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I did get it. Can you get rid of it, Erica?
Yourselves comfortable. Dearly beloved, we're gathered together here today in the presence of God and these family members and friends to join this man and this woman as husband and wife. Marriage is a holy and honorable estate, and is therefore not to be entered into unadvisedly or lightly, but reverently, discreetly, and soberly. And it's into this blessed state that Jackie and Andy come now to be joined. Before we go on with our happy business, the couple would like me to mention that Jackie's grandmother, Grace, her Aunt Judy, and Andy's grandmother, Shirley, and Uncle Mike are fondly remembered and very much missed today. Those of you who are here today are the couple's dearest family and friends. You have contributed to who they are, and you will continue to have important influence in their lives in the years to come. Those of you who have the wisdom of age provide perspective and have illustrated for them what it means to be strong and faithful in our ever-changing world. And the beloved children here, they can imagine the embodiment of their own hopes and dreams for the future. Other friends here today remind them of landmarks in their lives, good and bad, easy and difficult. All that you've shared with them leading up to this great day. Your presence with us today is essential, and on their behalf, I want to thank you for coming to celebrate with them and share their joy. Your presence today with us is essential. I would like to give you a little of the backstory of the couple, and in order to do that, the couple's friend Christine is going to come and read it to us.
In the 5 years I've been fortunate enough to know Andy and Jackie as a couple, I've always been humbled by their unconditional admiration for and support of one another. The bond they share as best friends and partners truly amazes me, as they are in a place in their lives that many couples only aspire to. It has been almost 7 years since they first met, though for part of that time, both merely admired each other from afar. I will never forget the day that Jackie approached me when I first brought Andy to a committee meeting we both sat on in college together at SUNY Oneonta. She was both elated and in disbelief that I was not only friends with him, but had recruited him to join our committee. Through this happenstance placement of Andy on our team, I unknowingly connected him with the self-proclaimed founder and president of the Andy Vaughn fan club. Naturally, I blatantly disregarded Jackie's adamant request to not speak a word of this to Andy, and began planting my matchmaker seeds, as I never once doubted these two would make a perfect pair. I also knew that while Andy did not create a fan club, he was enamored with Jackie, though felt she was quote-unquote out of his league. Little did both know how wrong they were about one another. The connection that evolved between these two from this point forward was a whirlwind of overcoming obstacles and sharing in one another's successes. They met as admiring strangers, transformed into best friends, and soon after became partners in life, love, and all that comes with it. This is not to say that their journey has nor will be perfect. However, they are continually empowered by love, mutual respect, and desire for the happiness and well-being of their beloved. Marriage is not a give-and-take relationship. It is a give-and-give relationship, for if both people give wholeheartedly to each other and to the spirit of their marriage, there is never a reason to take, because all one's needs have already been met. This seems to be a truth that Jackie and Andy have already found and embraced. Jackie and Andy truly bring out the best in one another, and while they are different in many ways, it is undeniable they have and always will be each other's counterparts, motivators, biggest fans, and absolute best friends. Andy and Jackie share a connection that is undeniable. Some couples finish one another's sentences, not these two. One merely thinks a thought and the other articulates it. They truly balance one another. Not that the road is always smooth, but it is indeed interesting and always well worth the ride. Jackie and Andy, I love you both, and I'm honored to have been a witness to your incredible love for one another as it has unfolded over the years. You are the recipe for an ideal relationship, when two best friends share one heart. Through your journey, always remember that the best relationship is one in which your love for each other exceeds your need for each other. So love yourselves, love one another, love all that is your life together, and all else will follow. May the best of your past be the worst of your future.
couple has chosen a reading on the topic of love, and the groom's sister, Jess, is going to come and read that for us.
The art of love. The little things are the big things. Like never being too old to hold hands. Like remembering to say I love you at least once a day. Like never going to sleep angry. And never taking the other for granted. Where there is love, courtship does not end for honeymoon, but continues through the years. The man and woman stand together facing the world and form a circle of love that gathers in the whole family. Each one does things for the other, not in an attitude of duty or sacrifice, but gladly and with joy. Love speaks words of appreciation and demonstrates gratitude in countless ways. It doesn't expect the husband to wear a halo or the wife to have wings of an angel. It doesn't look for perfection in the other. In love, each partner must cultivate flexibility, patience, understanding, a sense of humor, and the capacity to forgive and forget. Each must give the other an atmosphere in which to grow. Love finds room for the things of the spirit. It leads both partners in a search for the good and the beautiful. In a loving relationship, the independence is equal, dependence is mutual, and obligation is reciprocal. The secret to success in love is not only marrying the right partner, it is being the right partner.
Whenever I do a wedding ceremony, I like to speak to the couple for a few moments about married life or love, something like that. And I'd like to do that today. At the same time, speak to any of you who are married or who will ever be married. And today I'd like to speak on the one hand about married life by comparing it to whitewater rafting on the other hand. I think you'll see that the two things have a lot in common. When two peaceful, quiet streams join together, they form one more productive, useful stream. But they also create white water. And so it is with two lives, whether in the relationship or in the raft. It can be frightening. Do we know what we're doing? Are we ready for this? It can be challenging. In neither case are you allowed to just drift. A lot of hard work is involved. And it can be surprising, where in the middle of either ride you find yourself saying, I never imagined this. So very briefly, some things to remember in the midst of white water. And mostly you probably know these things, and it's just a reminder. First, the white water is normal and inevitable. When the two streams come together, when the two lives come together, there will be white water. So when it happens to you, just remember, it's nothing ominous, it's just that what happens to everyone is now happening to us. Secondly, it's not all white water. You know if you've gone whitewater rafting that you hope it's going to be all white water, but it never is. You have quiet times where you rest, you prepare for what's next, you soak up some sun. In the relationship, it's not all white water either. So again, it's just important to remember in the midst of the white water that this too shall pass. It's not a permanent condition. And then white water is often a sign of blessing. And it helps in the midst of it to remember to look for the blessing. If we would ask in your case, for instance, why should there be white water? Well, it's obvious. You found a man that you love, and he loves you. And you found a woman that you love, and who loves you. And you're joining your lives together. And that joining involves learning and growing, compromising, adjusting. And that's not always fun. And that's what we mean by the white water. But in the midst of it, if you can remember